Hello warriors, and welcome to another video. I'm super excited to make this video because my boyfriend and I have actually received very bad news today, and I'm handling it quite well, which is not like me. I am so bad at dealing with stress and handling bad news. So I was inspired to make this video. So this video will be about how to deal with stress or very bad news in eating disorder recovery, aka how not to binge eat or how not to use binge eating as a coping mechanism for very stressful situations and or bad news. So let's get into it. I probably haven't told you guys yet on this channel that my boyfriend is in a very stressful, bad divorce situation. He is already divorced officially, but he and his ex-wife had a house together, which they bought. And when he moved out, they sold the house, but the money got blocked onto a bank account because his ex-wife, sorry for all of the trains passing by, because his ex-wife didn't agree with certain things, and she has the right to say, hey, you know what, we're just gonna block the money, whether my boyfriend wanted to or not, we're just gonna block the money onto a bank account, and I'm gonna take a lawyer and you should take a lawyer, and they're just gonna fight until things get solved. But that takes a very long time. And the problem is that in the marriage, everything was on my boyfriend's name. So the electricity bills, if anything was got done in the house, like the kitchen was reconstructed, they built a new kitchen, and the bills were put on his name. And even though they were married with community of properties, or how do you say that in English, even though they are both responsible for the debts that they have built up, she is obliged by law to pay half of that. But even though that is the case, because everything is on his name, if the bills don't get paid, collectors are going to come to him and not to her, because everything is on his name. And we called them up and we said, these debts are also her debts and she should pay half of them. And the collectors were like, yeah, we know that that's the law, but because everything is on his name, we are coming to collect the debt, at his place, and she should pay half, but it's not like we can go to her and ask for half. She should pay that back to you. So that's just how the law works. It's really unlogical, but that's how it is. So we ended up having to pay all of the debts that were still open from his previous marriage, but we couldn't pay for all of it because it was 24,000 euros, which is a lot. Well, it was actually, I think it was more, but we did pay 24,000 euros in 1 year, because all of that, because of this whole situation. But we weren't even able anymore to pay our own bills, and a lot of stuff has happened, like our car broke down, so we couldn't pay for the repairments. But if we didn't get it repaired, then we couldn't go to our jobs, and well, I don't work, I have a job, but I'm in sick leave because of my eating disorder. So my boyfriend couldn't go to his job, and he had an extra job, but he also needed the car for that second job, and so we were in debt, and we wanted to pay off the debt, but then our car broke down, we couldn't pay for the repairment, so we couldn't go to work, and snowball effect, and like so much stress. There is so much I could tell you guys about this whole stress situation in this video, but That's not what this video is about. This video is about how to deal with such stress. So let's just keep it short and say that we have dealt with a lot of shit, a lot of extremely stressful situations. And normally tomorrow we have an appointment with our lawyers, and we thought the money that was blocked onto a bank account would be released and divided into two, and then all of our worries would be gone. But today we received the news that that's not going to happen, and that it could take several months before we are actually gonna get the money. And that was really devastating news. And even though I knew in advance that it was very likely that this was going to happen, my boyfriend was more positive. He was like, no, we're gonna get the money. So he's like even more disappointed than I am. I'm not disappointed really, I'm just stressed because we have borrowed a lot of money from several friends, and like they can't wait for their money anymore. They just want their money back, and that's also, really stressful. So we thought we would be able to pay the money back tomorrow or next week when the money was transferred from the bank account, but it turns out that that's not gonna happen. So we are both going to have to work really hard to pay our friends back with our own money, but we have barely catched up with our own bills. We still have like a really large electricity bill to pay. We haven't paid for our electricity for months. A water bill to pay. Like our car insurance didn't get paid. We are in so much trouble. So that's what's going on. Okay, so we received this bad news. Now let me tell you how I am handling it. First of all, I thought this is an opportunity because I have told my therapist in the past that I'm really scared to go back to a full-time job because I know that I have made a lot of progress in my eating disorder recovery. But I told her that I'm afraid that, everything goes well for a few months and then boom, there's a stressful situation. And I told her like, what if I'm not able to handle it? And I took the risk of going back to work. And because of the stress, I have a relapse and I start binging again. And I start binging so much that I gain so much weight at once, which will cause me to be too afraid to go to work because everyone will see that I have become super fat in just 1 week or 2 weeks. What if that happens again? I'm so scared that that will happen. And like, I feel like the universe is kind of giving me what I need. It's giving me this really stressful situation because it's a test. It's a test to see if I have actually learned, if I have actually made enough progress to deal with this stress and this situation without having to binge just to be able to cope. Do you get what I mean? I'm not working full-time yet. I'm not even working part-time. I do consider YouTube my job, but like it doesn't pay enough to be a real job yet. I know that might be the case someday, but yeah, that might take a while. So I do consider certain activities that I do my job, but that's just to give me some structure because I am in sick leave and people just, you need structure to be able to function if you're not working like other people are in today's society. So what was I saying? So yeah, I'm not working full-time right now yet, but I really do want to go for a full-time job again in January. So I feel like what is happening right now is just an opportunity to prove that I can deal with negativity and stressful situations without relapsing. I don't know if I can use the term relapse because I'm not cured yet, but I'm just, for convenience, I'm just gonna say relapse, okay? So seeing positive stuff and like an opportunity in stressful situations is really helpful. That was tip number 1. Tip number 2, you should realize that you have the power to change things. So instead of being like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? We're never gonna be able to pay off our debt, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, okay, the money isn't gonna come right now. That sucks. But what can we do to pay off our debt within a year? What can we do? Like, I have limitations. I can't just be like, okay, I have a full-time job now that pays a 6-figure number. Like, I can't do magic, but what we can do, or what I can do is, sorry, that's my dog. My boyfriend has a second job. It's delivering magazines in 3 different cities. And I cannot do this job officially because I'm not allowed to work. So it's registered on his name, but I can help him sometimes. So I had to stop helping him because it's a really boring job, but it's also very hard work, and it used to trigger me to binge. But right now I'm helping him again. I'm sorting out all of the magazines, and I do at least a big part of 1 city. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to make the situation better? Well, I can help even more. I can be or stay motivated to help my boyfriend with his second job, because if I don't help him, not all of the magazines get delivered sometimes, and then there are complaints. And if there are too many complaints, we might lose the second job. So I can help by delivering as much magazines as I can in that 1 city, so that my boyfriend can deliver, can do a better job, so that he has less work, and so that we can do this job better, so that we don't get fired, because that would be a disaster. That is something I can do. So that gives me a bit more, peace of mind. That is something I can do. Okay, what else can I do? Okay, instead of buying really fancy vegan foods, that's a trap I sometimes fall into. I go to these stores with all of these special sugars and special vegan stuff that I don't actually need. And that costs a lot of money. I can just drop that. I can cook really cheap. I've learned how to cook really cheap, but really deliciously, with just really basic cheap foods. That is something I can do. And I like cooking, so that really motivates me. We have a store here in Belgium called Action, and it's kind of like Target in America. It's really cheap. But the danger of that store is we like going there because everything is so cheap, but you end up buying a shit ton of things you don't need. And then at the register, it's like $100 or €100 because it's like a buying addiction. How do you say that in English? You just buy stuff because it makes you happy, but at the end of the road, you spend way more money. It's that store is like the devil. So now I'm like, okay, we can stop going to Action. Like if I do the math, like if we don't go to Action for a month, I could save like $150. I kid you not. That's how dangerous that store is. So that's something I can do. And I love the really small things in life. I don't need new nail polish. I don't need new jewelry. I already got this really nice necklace from my boyfriend at the black market. I will link the vlog because we vlogged it. I will link it in the description box. I'm sorry for my English, down below, because it's a really nice vlog. We had so much fun. So okay, I already got my jewelry. I don't need new stuff. Like, I do really want a new piercing, but that can wait, okay? The advantage of that is that I'm gonna teach myself a bit more discipline, you know? Delayed gratification. The piercing can wait for a couple of months. Who cares? It's just a piercing. What else can I do? You know, I'm thinking in solutions. I'm not thinking in problems. Another thing I can do is, like, I have two YouTube channels. One is, oh, I'm okay. This is like, one is, I'm so sorry. Like, okay, one channel is already pretty popular. It has 11,000 subscribers. It's about my barn owl. So I do make a bit of money off of that channel, but you know, like I said, I can't consider it a real job yet because it doesn't make a lot of money. But I can make more videos and do more live streams, and maybe that will make me even more money. And I don't make anything off of this channel yet, but that is one of my goals. And I'm like, okay, I am in a really stressful situation, but I feel like with all of these problems that we're having, I could vlog about that. I could make videos about that. And then this channel could be so much more than just an eating disorder recovery channel. It could be a channel about how to fight depression, how to get out of debt, how to stay positive in really difficult situations. It could be such an inspirational channel. And, you know, the consequence of that will lead to more money eventually. Like, I honestly believe that I will make money off of this channel someday, and that I will help people at the same time, because that's what this channel is about. So this really negative, stressful situation really motivates me to keep going and do new stuff. So yeah, that's how I'm handling the situation right now. I cannot control the stressful situation, but I can control myself. I can do certain things to make stuff better. And if I'm going to binge, is that going to make anything better? No. I'm just gonna lose more money because binge eating costs a lot of money. I will feel worse because I'm gonna feel disgusting and fat and unhealthy. I'm gonna make my PMDD worse because I do suffer from PMDD, and I know that I can beat it naturally, but I have to eat really clean to do that. And you know, binge eating is not really clean. That's not clean eating. I'm not binging on carrots or anything. So yeah, binge eating is gonna make everything worse. Everything. So it's not a solution. I might feel better for like 10 seconds, and then I'll feel like crap. And that's how I kind of talk myself out of falling into the trap of negativity each day. I feel like it's more important to prevent anxiety attacks and binge eating than to wait until the binge comes, or the urge to binge comes, and then having to fight it, because that's, I'm not saying that's impossible, but that's really hard. So yeah, I'm just aware of the fact that I'm stressed, because I used to be like, I'm not stressed, not at all. And then like 2 days later, I'd be like stuffing my face with stuff that you shouldn't even eat, like dead animals and ice cream made of real milk and cookies and stuff. So now I'm like, okay, I am stressed. This is a very shitty situation. I'm recognizing that. And I'm just keeping track of my feelings and emotions every day. I'm taking just tiny, small, short moments to realize how I'm feeling and to take proper care of myself. If I feel too stressed, I'll just rest a bit. If I don't have the time to rest, I'll make time to rest later. I'm just, trying stuff. Being aware is the first step. And then knowing yourself and planning things you can do to make sure you don't collapse emotionally, that's also really important. So I am getting strength from this channel, from the fact that I know that I'm going to be able to make a lot of videos that will hopefully inspire a lot of people someday. And I am seeing this as an opportunity to grow. And yeah, that's how I'm handling the situation. So I hope I didn't forget to mention anything. But if I have forgotten something, then I will definitely make another video about this topic. If you found this video helpful, then give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. If you want a daily reminder like I do, that you are strong, beautiful, capable, powerful beyond measure, then go check out my warrior store. I will put the link to my store in the description box down below. I sell all kinds of t-shirts, sweaters with unicorns and stuff and cool quotes that should motivate you to get better. Whatever it is you're fighting, you know, an eating disorder, depression, social anxiety, whatever, you can get over it. It's not easy, but it's doable. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!